Okay, what are we doing here, hon?
We are sharing what we're trying to do with our tomatoes. We didn't make a video when we first started because we weren't 100% sure that this was going to work. But about 2 months ago, I was watching Charles Dowding video, and he did a little tour of his greenhouse, and he had a tomato growing in his greenhouse. And he says, I know, but this is a cutting from a tomato. It was a little bit bigger than this. And he says that that's how he keeps his tomatoes over the winter. He was specifically talking about an F1 tomato that you can't grow from seeds from the tomato. It won't come true. Now, Steve at Digwell Green Fingers, he has a method where he doesn't care and he just saves the seeds. And he says about 1 out of 10 plants that you grow is going to be desirable, and you can then plant the seeds from that particular tomato plant and you can kind of carry on that way. But it does take a long time to kind of get back to a tomato that you like. This way, you can take a cutting from your F1 tomato and just grow it over the winter. That's what we're doing. We have lights, so that's not an investment we had to make in order to do this little experiment. These are F1, they are the Sakura tomatoes. If you bought the seeds for those tomatoes, you know that they are horribly expensive, and you don't get that many. So our idea was, if we can take the cuttings, keep them alive over the winter. If they get too big, they are making little armpit growths that you can pinch out and then plant again. So we could just toss a plant if it gets too big after we take out the armpits and plant the armpits. This particular cutting is from an armpit cutting that we'd taken from a sakura plant and just put it in a pot, and it grew over the summer, and then Jason grabbed this before the freezing frosts came, and so we have this little one. And then this one is from the sakura plant that was on the trellis. It didn't do a whole lot, but we did manage to get a cutting from it. We realized that it was one of the only plants that we'd left up. Jason wanted to see what would happen if we didn't actually take the plants down. And because it was sitting next to the water tank, it was the last one to freeze and the last one to die. So we had taken a little cutting off. So this is what we're doing with our F1 tomato plants. Rather than save seeds, we're saving the cuttings. And we'll just see if we can manage to keep them alive. They did look extremely sad at first, but this one's really making a comeback, and it's got lots of new growth on it, and it looks really healthy. So we're just going to keep trying, and we will see if we make it through to the spring.
Yeah. And that one in your right hand, it was all yellowed and it had black spots on it. So I thought it was definitely after a frost when we grabbed it. So I thought that was going to not go for sure. But it's definitely greened up, and it looks like I don't know if it's growing, but it's not dying.
So definitely, it's a little bit too late for this year, but definitely something to keep in mind for next year. Stay awesome, everybody. Thanks for watching. So Jason and I made our own wreath for Christmas.
Beautiful.
Ho, ho, ho!